Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a little while now since I've been on YouTube, but sort of bring this video now and show you or share with you my experience at this year's 24-hour event at Dawn to Dusk. Now, if you've been following me on Facebook and on my Instagram page as well, Behind Enduro Adventure Media Facebook page and the Instagram page, you will have seen the posts from the recent event Dawn to Dusk. And you'll have seen some of the other stuff that I've been doing as well, some of the other riding. Man, 24-hour event, what an epic. Now, it was my third year at the Dawn to Dusk event. I've got my 3 medals here now, 3 in a row. Granted, the first year was part of a 2-man team, but I think Mike, my friend who I went with, will openly admit that it was me who did most of the riding. Last year, solo, and again this year solo this year totally on my own. Last year we had a little bit of support at times. There was quite a group of us, so there's always something to help you out when needed with something. James from GPX Moto was there last year, but this year a little bit different. I really wanted to do it on my own. I wanted to, how can I describe it as, or Mike, my friend, described it as the full Malle moto experience. So that's me doing everything, my own servicing, my own pits, everything. Nobody to rely on at all other than myself. I had a lot of spares, plenty of fuel, lots of food for the weekend. I had everything sort of organised. But you can never plan or cover every base, shall we say. But the GPX TSA 300 is a bike we rode, and it was absolutely great. It was great. The bike was just absolutely tortured, freaking tortured, as my friend LK's ADV said. You freaking tortured that bike. Yeah, it was a one muddy event. Now, just looking at my Instagram page recently, you will see that there's a video on there in relation to how much the bike weighed when I brought the bike back from Wales. It weighed 155.8 kilos, and now in its current state, granted we don't have the LED headlight on, and we don't have the mini tower, which I think combined they probably weigh maybe 3 kilos at the very most. The bike now weighs, with the same amount of fuel as when I initially weighed it before the wash, it weighs 121.3 kilos. It's over 30 kilos less lighter now with all that dirt removed and it all serviced up, good to go. Incredible really how much weight we're actually, well, how much weight you can be carrying around with you unbeknown. But you know, when you're riding you don't really notice it because the bike, you know, feels pretty much the same. It's when you have to actually pick the bike up and start physically having to manhandle the bike around that you really notice how much extra weight is on the bike. All in all, the bike performed fantastic. We had a few dramas, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But you know, the event as a whole was a great event this year. Challenging event, and you know, talking to some of the guys that work at that event, they were saying that it was probably the most challenging conditions they've seen for quite a number of years now. The last couple of years when I've been there in Walters Arena, it's been dry, the sun's been shining, we've had really dusty conditions. Yes, there's been a few mud holes in places on the course, but this year it was just like flipping heck, extreme, totally extreme from the word go. We had a lot of rain before I got there. Just as I arrived at the location for the weekend, it poured down. Sun came out a little bit, and then it poured down again, and then we had a lot of rain, well, quite a bit of rain on Saturday, really heavy showers, which meant there was going to be a lot of standing water out on the course, and that mud down there, I think it's spoiled from coal washing. I think it is an old pit, or part of an old pit. I could be wrong, but it's a really grey sort of grinding paste when it gets wet. and it just sticks to everything. And when it sticks to everything, it just starts building up, and you can't get it off. You cannot get it off unless you've got a jet washer. And having a jet wash during the event was just not an option at all, I don't think, for anybody. The nearest thing I came to washing the bike during the event was periodically trying to wash the radiators off with a shower from the van, and when we had the issue with the chain, we had to clean the chain area. So kicked off at 7 o'clock at night. First couple of laps pretty good until the handlebars came loose. I had to come in and just tighten the bolts on the handlebar risers to the triple clamps. Bearing in mind we've done like 25 hours or so prior to this event with no issues. They just suddenly decided to show themselves loose a little bit. So that cost me a lap. 15-20 minutes or so sorting the handlebars out, and then we went back out. I think the first fuel stop was at 10 o'clock.
Well, it's 10 to 10. Cracking after our little service pit stop earlier. It's going to just fill it with fuel. Everything seems to be going well. Conditions are pretty bad, I'm not joking. I don't think I've ever ridden in conditions like this before. Or as bad as this, shall I say. So I'm going to have a refuel now and then just rinse off the radiator louvers.
Been riding then just over 2.5 hours, and we'd used 6.5 litres of fuel, which I didn't think were too bad at all. This is a 9.5 litre tank, so I'm pretty sure we could get a 3-hour race out of this bike now as it is, with the carburettor set up on this bike. Even better if we had a bigger tank on, we'd really be able to go out for the day without the need to refuel. So at 10 o'clock we knew where we were fuel wise. We knew what we had to do in terms of refuels. I knew I could go out there 2.5 hours, no problem at all, and still have sufficient fuel in there to get back, or at least do another lap if I needed to. And from that point on, it was pretty good. All through the night, we were riding through the night. It was raining through the night. There was a lot of riders taking time out during the night because the conditions were so bad.
How's it going? It's 3 AM and we've been scraping mud. It's like, I'm not joking. It got to a point where I couldn't pick my bike up with that heavy. I had to come in and scrape it down. There must have been 20 kilos of dirt on it. Ridiculous. And it's raining as well now, so we're just having another quick brief pit stop, shall we say. Quick cup of tea again, bit of something to eat. Those chicken wings there have been lovely. And yeah, scrape the mud off. Bike's doing okay, just conditions are bad, I just like, it's a strange thing, isn't it? As it is, I'm still enjoying it, so to speak. It's all about the endurance of it all. So yeah, all's good. I think I've made a few places up, but we'll just keep pushing. See you in a bit.
But I just managed to keep on going, keep plugging away, keep the wheels turning. So I went through the night, coming in, cup of tea, food, and then at 6:30 in the morning, that is around the time when the event organisers will open the extended course. So from 7 o'clock at night when the race starts till 6:30 in the morning, you've got a short course for safety reasons. So the organisers can keep you close to where they are for in case of emergency, etc. So 6:30 in the morning, daybreak, we've got daylight, the big course is up, and we're now into an 18-mile lap. So we get going. I thought, well, my plan was like last year, as soon as the course opens, get a lap in, do the big lap, recce some of the extreme stuff, and then come back in for food and some breakfast and a hot drink. We were approximately 10 miles in to the main lap when the next issue we had to deal with happen, and that was the chain had stretched that much. It had jammed in the sprocket and the case saver. Right guys, it's 20 past 8 and we've got a bit of an issue. We've got something stuck in the front sprocket. So we're just looking now. I've had the chain cover there off on the track, and you can see something's wedged and it's just lifting the sprocket, or the chain off the sprocket and jamming it against the clutch saver. So it's been recovered back. So we've got a bit of cleaning to do, get it all cleaned down, get the wheel out and the brake out as well cleaned up, because it's just wedged with dirt. You see all this stuff, I think it's like concrete now, it sets like concrete. So a little bit of work to do, hopefully get it up and running. So kettle's going on and we're going to start doing this job. Back soon. Luckily with no damage to the engine casings or anything, but it just wedged. It was quite slow speed when it happened, and the back wheel was solid. Me and one of the marshals tried getting it to release, but we couldn't do. Big shout to Joe Nichols now, who was the marshal that came, and he got the recovery side of things organised for me, which is really appreciated. Got me back. We had about an hour's wait, and then it took me about an hour to sort the issue with the bike, putting a new chain on. I had one in my spares box, a new chain, and big shout to Powell as well, Powell Zamansky, who helped me just do a few things really. In fact, if anything, he was there as encouragement just to keep me going. He was doing the 24-hour solo, but he'd had issues with his bike, and had to call it a day. He got some electrical issues and his race were over. So he was watching what was going on and came and just gave me a little bit of assistance. But generally I did everything on my own. We got the chain on, and in between sort of fitting the chain and everything else, again some food, bit of breakfast, and then we got going again. We finally sort of got going and got into a bit of a zone where we were just clocking the laps up, clocking more laps up where I could, and they weren't the fastest laps, but it was just consistency. That's what I wanted. And as the day got on, that's when the pain started kicking in. Not physical pain, but a sore backside, massively sore backside. No matter what I did, talcum powder, chamois cream, three layers of shorts, one padded layer of shorts. Because you are wet, you're sweating a lot as well. You just get saddle sore. It's very hard to stop it happening, and particularly with the conditions being what they were. Some of the sections you had to sit down. You couldn't ride them stood up, and you can only stand up for so long. And it gets to a point where you are tired and you have to sit down. And sometimes the easiest way of riding through something is to sit on the saddle. When in normal circumstances you might, be stood up. So yeah, saddle sore pretty much as the day sort of progressed. So we were about an hour and 3/4 ish before the finish when we had the last real problem, and that was we boiled the clutch fluid. The clutch lever went just went, so we had no way of changing gear smoothly. So I managed to crawl it back to the pits. I took the reservoir cap on. Now we had this Brembo 9mm clutch master cylinder on at the time. Took the cap off, it was empty, all the fluid is gone. So it was one of those, what's happened? Have I boiled it, or have I got an issue with the slave cylinder and we've lost the fluid through the slave somehow and it's gone internally into the gearbox. Initially I tried bleeding that, filling it up and bleeding it up. but that wouldn't work. So we then went on to a different master cylinder. This was a spare one that I had. This is the original GPX master cylinder. Fitted that. Again, I could not get it to bleed up at all. I didn't have my reverse bleeding kit with me, so decided just to basically get the bike over the finish line without a working clutch lever, and we managed it. And after all that, handlebars, chain, clutch, after all the time we'd lost, we still came in 6th position in the veterans marathon class. So I was chuffed, I was absolutely chuffed to bits with that, absolutely chuffed to bits. Overall in the 24-hour category, we came 62nd out of 138 riders. So as far as I'm concerned, that was pretty respectable, to be honest. Really chuffed. If there's ever a way of testing yourself and testing a bike, it is that event, a 24-hour event. In those conditions, I mean, the bike looks good now because we've got new graphics on, but flipping at the graphics what were on it after it had been washed were just absolutely done with all that rubbing, etc. But from a damage point of view, we had no damage other than one of the plastic shields on the handguards got broken, and just bent one of the foot pegs slightly. That was it from a damage perspective. But riding that event, riding the 24-hour solo event, you need to like riding your bike, you really do, because your head's got to be in it, really got to be in it. But overall, happy with the result, happy with the bike. But yeah, all good stuff. 24-hour, dawn to dusk. You need to do it to really understand it. You've got to want to do it. It is a head thing. There were ever a time when I thought to myself, what am I doing here? And that says a lot, really. I think if your head's in it and you're enjoying it, no matter how hard it is, that something's right. It's just you're in the zone. You're just doing it. You're getting on with it, regardless of where you are position wise. You do want to try and push on and get a respectable finish. Even try and win it, depending on where your head is. But for me, it was like I just wanted to prove the bike. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do the event on my own, pretty much unaided, and felt good afterwards. The only thing I felt good after the first 24 hours were the worst because my sore backside and the soda cream did its job. After the first night's sleep after the race, but otherwise felt fit, felt good, feeling healthy at the moment, and looking forward to Portugal, looking forward to Sea to Sky as well, and a few other things that I've got coming up. And I'm also looking forward to a big trip down under in November to New Zealand and Australia to see some family. Yeah, there we are. That's it. I think I've moaned or gone on long enough, shall we say. But yeah, dawn to dusk, cracking event. This year was really challenging. I'll definitely go back at some point, but whether I'll go back next year I don't know. I mean, the next time I might even do a 12-hour event next time. I've done what I need to do from a 24-hour point of view. I think I've been there 3 times now, and time to move on and do something else. So stay tuned. Hard Enduro and Adventure Media at Eurotech. Catch you soon, guys. Hi guys, well, we've made it to the back end of Beyond. We're in South Wales at Glenheath for this year's 2023 Dawn to Dusk. I'm doing the 24-hour veterans solo class. Just got signed on. 5-hour drive down here, a nightmare, but we've made it. We had a bit of rain. I think it's going to be raining on and off all weekend, which is, in some respects is probably better than dust, as we've had for the last couple of years. So I'm going to get the camp set up now. Let's go. Right, it's all kicking off. Generators are running. We've finally got set up from the last clip before, just having a look round. It's taken me about 2 hours to get organised. Let's have a look. We've got the van. Bike's all ready. So this is my tent. This is going to be the dirty area for the next couple of days. Now, it was raining quite heavy when we got here. The floor's a bit of a mud bath, but I'm hoping it's going to dry out a little bit. It is what it is. Last couple of years it's been an absolute dust bath here. Been red hot and really dry. This year a little bit different, a little bit inclement. But we've got a 3 metre by 3 metre gazebo. I've got a second skin on. Just hopefully it just keeps the rain out if it does get quite heavy. As you can see there, we've got that's the main canvas. Pretty good, but that second skin will just help things, I think. And then we've got the nice clean area inside. I'm going to get some dinner going very shortly and get the TV on as well and just get settled in for the night. We're a 5-hour drive, like I said, coming down here. So get some food, an early night and a lot of rest, because as of tomorrow, whenever I get up, that's going to be 8 until 7 o'clock Sunday night. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Awesome. Hi guys, welcome back. We're nearly there now. We are an hour and 15 minutes before race start. Just a quick look at my night bag so I can show you what's in there. So you know what I'm going to be eating and drinking throughout the race. So this is my pit area. Obviously we'll have the generator running. I've got a kettle for hot water so I can make a cup of tea. I've got my tea making gear there, my tea bags and some sugar. What I've got here is it's pre-made Ride Nutrition Intra. So that's my hydration stuff, already prepped for my camelback, my hydration pack on my back. So I've got 6 litres there, I've got already 2 litres in my other pack, and I've got some more if I need it. Obviously my water for boiling the kettle. In this box, some biscuits, some bananas, some sardines, rice pudding. I've got extra stuff in the van as well. And in here, unzip it, we've got some already made up preload. That's Ride preload. This is the old stuff. The new stuff we're still waiting for, the new batch. But this is like gold dust. Really good for getting oxygen to the large muscle groups. I've been sort of loading up on that over the last couple of days now. And just had some, got some milk for my cup of tea in the middle of the night if I want to. I've got some egg custards, I've got some chicken satay sticks, I've got some cheese, Baby Bells, and I've got some Y food as well. This is like a milkshake. It's a 500 calorie complete meal. This stuff I've been using for quite a while now. I even started using it before Billy did. I used it last year in 2022 Red Bull Romaniacs for breakfast and at service point. This stuff keeps you going, it really does. And that's some of my preload stuff which I've got there. So that's just a bit of an insight into what is going to be getting me through this race. Plus I've got other things in the van. If I want some hot food, which I probably will do in the morning, I've got some steak bakes in there which we could microwave in a minute. I've even got some sticky toffee puddings and custard and just those sort of things which go down easy and are quite good in your stomach. The sort of things
you know, you just don't know what you're going to want to eat in these sort of scenarios. But the main thing is you're getting the calories down, and that's why the Y food is a really good supplement. And anything on top of that's a bonus as well. But again, you're just trying to balance things out, not eating too much, but just keeping eating your required amounts throughout the days and trying to keep it on a sort of a level.
Good luck, Robert.
Yeah, good luck, mate.
Buddy.
All the best.
Oh, no.
Yeah. See you at the end.
Yes, definitely.
Use the rules to my advantage. Stone to avoid there. juice, perhaps, as somebody would say. Bit of extreme. Brilliant. Like a cobbled road with cobbles at an angle, with corners stuck up. Microfiber out. Second, forgot about this. I don't know if you can see or not. That should be better. Zip my bag up. Alright, fuck me. the track of doom, this one. It's been down here during night, you'd have known about it. The windmill. Using this left-hand line all night. Quite rough with those little bits. This is as well. Go a bit on left. Move the line on left. They're looking a bit tired there. Another rough bit. Alright buddy, it's horrible, isn't it? Another gnarly little section, this. The proper mud scramble is this. Toilet time.